Hi everyone, this is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to New Comic Book Day, October 4th, 2017. This is what I bought on New Comic Book Day, and I implore you to please subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you'll be notified of new uploads. Also, drop this video a like and share it with others so they'll know what to get, what to check out, because these are the comics that I find interesting, that I enjoy for my own reasons. Now, first up is from DC Comics, All-Star Batman number 14. This comic book, it's had ups and downs. It's written by Scott Snyder. I think the stories have remained pretty solid. And this cover is interesting. I have no idea what's going on because All-Star Batman is one of the comic books which is put out once a month. So for a book like that, which comes out only once a month, it's difficult to follow the storyline, and remember what the previous issue said. So that was All-Star Batman number 14. Dark Knight's Batman, the Dawnbreaker. If you don't know anything about the Metal event that's happening in DC Comics right now, it's where Batman does something, and I still haven't figured out what, and causes a dark multiverse to appear where a bunch of evil Batmen somehow appear and attack the Justice League. This one has the power of the Green Lantern. Now, here's a company that I have never featured before, and I am going to be honest, I did not buy this comic book just for the woman's chest, but that is very appealing. I am gonna be dead honest with you. I like a woman with a good chest. This is from Zenescope. This is the Black Sable number 1. I have no idea what kind of story this is, but I think it's a fantasy type story, because look at the mystical type blade she has and the really badass gun she's got a hold of, and a very futuristic type city in the background. From Zenescope, the Black Sable number 1. Alright, this is a new miniseries, 6 parts. This is called Hack and Slash, and it's featuring Vampirella. Now, I find this very interesting because this cover looks like a playing card, and it says Vampirella there at the top versus Vampirella here at the bottom. So this is 2 versions of Vampirella apparently going at each other. This is Hack and Slash featuring Vampirella, issue number 1. Now, next up is a collaboration comic that I know some people are going to find interesting. This is a collaboration between Dynamite Comics and Kaboom Comics. Grumpy Cat meets Garfield. Yes, the Grumpy Cat has her own comic book. Well, it's not her own comic book. Garfield is part of it, but it's their comic book. I have no idea what it's like. I've heard about this for months. I've been eager to get this to read it. I'm pretty sure that Kaboom Comics is geared more towards kids, but I like Garfield. I have for many decades, and I do like Grumpy Cat, so I'm glad to get this. Grumpy Cat and Garfield, issue 1. Also, I have right here Grumpy Cat and Garfield number 2 from Dynamite Comics and Kaboom Comics. I love how Garfield is holding her face like he's stretching her fur and she's frowning, but Grumpy Cat always frowns. That's who she is. Next up from Marvel is Earth's Mightiest Heroes, The Avengers, number 11. Now, I flipped through this while I was there at the comic shop. It still has the same type of artwork that the previous 10 issues had. It's so type of artwork, but I've always enjoyed the stories. Except for issue, I think, what was it, 9? Was confusing. And now here is Earth's Mightiest Heroes, The Avengers, number 672. Marvel Comics has gone back to legacy numbering. That means they are now going to put out comic books at what the comic book number would be at, because they've gone back and counted since the Avengers were first put out. This would literally be issue 672. They've rebooted the comic book a number of times, so this is what they're doing. They're going back to the old numbering system, and even up here they have the pictures of 4 characters, the 4 characters which are in this issue: female Thor, Falcon, Vision, and Spider-Man. And I have to say that I did peek at the artwork while I was inside the comic book store, and it is much better. It is. I don't know about the story, but the artwork is much better. Now, this is also from Marvel Comics, X-Men Gold number 13. And this is Apocalypse. This big blue dude right here, he's a bad guy. And he is never, he's never good news. And up here, and we have, it looks like a Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, Old Man Logan, Kitty Pryde, and I think Rachel Summers, daughter of Scott Summers and Jean Grey. And I do like what they're doing with putting the faces back here in the corner like they used to. I think it's a good move, at least for me it is. Okay, now we're going back to what DC Comics has out this week. Superman number 32, Target Deathstroke. The previous few issues have been a little bit confusing to me, but this one looks really cool. I like that cover. And I think it has a different writer now, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention to the writers. Next up is Nightwing number 30, Raptor's Revenge Part 1. Now, if you don't know who Raptor is, that's a guy who they introduced when they rebooted DC Comics in 2016. And he was featured in the very first story. I truly wasn't able to understand who he was when I read that story. I think it was the first 5 issues. Because he seemed, confusing. Sometimes he seemed like he was on Nightwing's side. Other times he seemed a little bit slimy. I couldn't figure out. But that is Nightwing number 30. And now here's one I'm going to be really interested to read. Justice League number 30. Green Lantern Out of Control. Now, if you have not been following this legacy storyline here in Justice League, the children of the Justice League members have come from the future into the past to stop something that destroys their world. And so this is part of it. I don't know what this is going to involve, because apparently, from what I discovered a few issues back, Simon Baz, this Green Lantern, has no children in the future. He just becomes he basically becomes a bad guy, a Yellow Lantern. And next up, Harley Quinn, number 29. Part 2 of Vote Harley. And maybe I should have gotten the variant cover, because the previous variant cover was so cool. But I like this cover. She is going to try to become mayor of New York City to dethrone the current mayor. And next up is Green Lanterns, number 32. It says House Party here at the top. I think this is a new storyline. I really wish they would put the title of the story in the front. But, they don't. It says Family Conflict, Cosmic Chaos. Now, that may have something to do with Simon Baz, because his brother-in-law really doesn't like him, because Simon Baz keeps saying to his brother-in-law that he'll be somewhere, and he never is, because Simon's off defending the universe and and Earth from cosmic disasters. And there's Jessica Cruz up there in the corner. This cover was really well done. I like it a lot. Next up is Green Arrow, number 32, a dark metal tie-in, Gotham Resistance finale. Now, it says, witness the wrath of the Batman who laughs. This should be interesting, because I thought the Batman who laughs was going to have his own solo one-shot comic book. And if you don't know what a one-shot is, that's just a story that's self-contained into one issue. It's not an ongoing series. Now, here's something I have been really eager to read for the past few days. Batman number 32, The War of Jokes and Riddles. I think this is the end of this storyline. Now, I will admit that I have not enjoyed this storyline all that much. But Tom King, who writes Batman, said on Twitter a few days ago that issue 32 would contain an answer. Now, that answer is the question Batman asked Catwoman in issue 24. Will you marry me? And that issue of Batman sold a lot of... I sold a really high number, I believe, and went into second and third printings and had variant covers. It was even, I think it even made national news. And so, in this issue, apparently the answer is given. Will Catwoman marry him? So I'm really eager to read that. Now, back to Marvel. This is Astonishing X-Men number 3. That is I have no idea. That's Old Man Logan there on the cover. Then behind him is the Wolverine who used to be before he got killed, and I have no idea who that is. And also, Astonishing X-Men number 4. That's Mystique sitting there on that throne, drinking a glass of champagne, or maybe in her case blood. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that cover because there's just so much space unused here. But it's better than too much. You know. Alright. Now this is the Kiss meets Vampirella from Dynamite Comics number 4. I think there's 2 more issues to this, a 6-part series, and this has been a pretty good miniseries. I've enjoyed it. I really have. And now I come to the one comic book that I actually told John at Purple Earth Comics that I had been undecided about buying, but I was going to decide to buy it this week, and he told me that he already put it in my bag. and he did that with also Avengers 11. He put that in my bag as well, since I got the new issue, Avengers 672. The comic book I'm referring to is one many people hate, and I don't know if I'll hate it or not. Marvel Legacy number 1. It's a self-contained story. That means it's a one-shot. It's supposed to give us not all of the details, but some details about what's going to happen in this newly relaunched Marvel Comics universe. And no, Captain America does not appear in the book in his uniform. Neither does the Hulk appear, and neither does the mighty Captain Marvel. But it has a really cool cover. This is called a lenticular cover, which means it's sort of, I don't know. This is not the best lenticular cover to demonstrate, but it means that and I'll show you the back is all, because that's also a lenticular cover. This is a advertisement for Avengers number 675. If you turn it one way, then it looks like something. If you turn it another way, it looks like something. It's very subtle. You have to be holding it in your hands to understand. So I will be reviewing this. You can put money on that. And there are some other Marvel comic books that I will be reviewing here pretty soon. I want to review the Generations issues of Captain Marvel meets Captain Marvel, and also the one that followed that, the Captain Marvel meets Captain Marvel. Those are the 2 Generations books that I bought. And if you don't know, Generations, those are a series of one-shots that are supposed to do something for the Marvel Legacy universe. I guess it's what we're going to have to start calling it now, Marvel Legacy. But those are the only Generation issues that I really was interested in. And I know that's bad because some of them were like Hawkeyes and Thors and Hulks. But really, I'm interested in what happens with Captain Marvel. Even though many people aren't, I tend to enjoy her stories, even though others, diss her and say this and that. But I take the story for what it's worth to me. It's like just like John was saying today at Purple Earth Comics, you know, he was saying that he doesn't keep himself from seeing a movie starring Tom Cruise just because he's a Scientologist. He goes to the movie and enjoys it for what it's worth. And I'm the same way. I know Tom Cruise is a Scientologist, but that doesn't keep me from seeing a movie that he might be in. But the movie has to be interesting to me to want to go see the film. Just like with a comic book, there's something about it that I must find interesting in order for me to read it. And like I've said in the past, the cover is eye candy, basically. If you don't have good eye candy, then I am not going to want to read what might be inside. So, you have to remember that if you're a comic book creator. The cover must look good, or else people are not going to want to read what's inside it. And if you have good art inside the book, that's going to be a plus. But you need a good cover, good artwork, and a good story to make it all go, and to make it all go together as a really good story that someone can say, yeah, I enjoyed that. I really loved it. And I recommend it to you. Or else not. If a person doesn't enjoy it, then they won't recommend a story to you. But it's the taste of each person. So, what is your comic book taste? What do you enjoy? What comic book companies or stories or heroes or villains do you like? Let me know in the comments down below. So, please smash that subscribe button and also hit the bell so you'll be notified of new uploads. And also please give this video a like, and I'm talking here on YouTube, because if I don't, those likes do help. And also please do share the video. That would mean a lot to me, so others could enjoy it as well. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics. True readers, till next time, be true to your comic books and read what you enjoy.